The darkness enveloped her as she pressed her back against the wall of the closet, her heart pounding so loudly she was certain it would give away her hiding place. Then came the sound that froze her blood, someone else's breathing. She wasn't alone. A phone screen illuminated, revealing the face of Boston's most eligible bachelor, tech mogul James Harrington, crouched among designer coats just inches away. "Well," he whispered with a hint of amusement in his eyes, "this is awkward." Little did Olivia know that this chance encounter in a stranger's closet would change both their lives forever. If you're enjoying this story of unexpected romance and second chances, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories that will warm your heart and keep you on the edge of your seat. Olivia Chen hadn't wanted to come to this party in the first place. The elegant penthouse overlooking Boston Harbor was packed with the city's elite, doctors, lawyers, tech entrepreneurs, and social media influencers, none of whom she knew particularly well. Her roommate Zoe had dragged her here, insisting it would be good for her to get back out there after 6 months of self-imposed isolation following her breakup with Marcus. "You can't hide forever," Zoe had said that morning, rifling through Olivia's closet for something suitable. "You're 28, gorgeous, and wasting away in that bakery of yours." "I'm not wasting away," Olivia had protested. "I'm building a business. A business where you hide in the kitchen and never talk to customers." Olivia couldn't argue with that. Sweet Nothings had been her dream for years, a boutique bakery specializing in French pastries and custom cakes, but lately, it had become more of a refuge than a passion. The early mornings alone with her dough and thoughts had become a comfortable routine, one that didn't require her to face the humiliation of her very public breakup. Now, nursing a glass of champagne she barely wanted, Olivia scanned the crowded living room. Zoe had disappeared 30 minutes ago with a handsome surgeon, leaving Olivia to fend for herself. She was contemplating making an early exit when she saw him. Marcus. He stood by the bar, his arm draped casually around a willowy blonde. He threw his head back in laughter at something she said, displaying the perfect white teeth that had once smiled just for Olivia. The sight of him, so carefree, so unaffected, made her stomach clench. They had been together for 3 years. 3 years of building a life, of planning a future, of Olivia believing she had finally found her person. Then came the text messages she wasn't meant to see. The late nights at the office that weren't spent at the office at all. The final, devastating confession, "I just don't see a future with you anymore." What made it worse was that everyone knew. Marcus was a rising star at one of Boston's top law firms, and Olivia had been his +1 at countless social events. Their breakup had been gossip fodder for weeks. She'd deleted her social media accounts just to escape the pitying messages and curious inquiries. And now here he was, looking right at her. Recognition dawned on his face, followed by something that looked like guilt. He whispered something to the blonde and began making his way through the crowd toward Olivia. Panic seized her. She wasn't ready for this confrontation, not here, not now, not with so many watching eyes. Without thinking, she turned and fled down the nearest hallway, opening doors at random until she found what looked like a bedroom. Inside, she spotted a walk-in closet and ducked inside, pulling the door closed behind her. In the darkness, she pressed her back against the wall and tried to steady her breathing. This was ridiculous. She was a grown woman hiding in a stranger's closet. But the thought of facing Marcus, of making small talk while her heart shattered all over again, was unbearable. That's when she heard it, the soft sound of someone else breathing. Olivia froze. She wasn't alone in the closet. A phone screen suddenly illuminated, casting a blue glow over sharp cheekbones, a strong jaw, and piercing eyes that were now widened in surprise. She recognized him immediately from countless magazine covers and news segments, James Harrington, founder and CEO of Harrington Tech, one of Boston's most successful startups and recently valued at over $1 billion. "Well," he whispered, a hint of amusement in his voice, "this is awkward." Olivia's hand flew to her mouth to stifle a gasp. "I'm so sorry," she whispered back. I didn't know anyone was in here. Hiding from someone too? He asked. My ex, she admitted, mortified. You? Investors, he said with a grimace. They corner me at these things, pitch terrible ideas, and expect me to write checks on the spot. Despite her panic, Olivia felt a smile tug at her lips. There was something surreal about crouching in a dark closet with one of Boston's wealthiest men, both of them hiding like children. I'm James, he said, extending his hand in the dim light. I know who you are, she replied, taking his hand briefly. I'm Olivia. Nice to meet you, Olivia. Though I usually prefer to meet people under less confined circumstances. A sound from the bedroom made them both tense. Footsteps approached the closet, and Olivia's heart leapt into her throat. James reacted instantly, pulling her deeper into the closet behind a row of hanging clothes just as the door opened. Light spilled in, and Olivia held her breath. Through the gaps between garments, she could see Marcus peering into the closet, his brow furrowed. After what felt like an eternity, he closed the door and left the room. Olivia exhaled shakily, suddenly aware of how close she was standing to James. In the darkness, she could feel the warmth radiating from his body, smell the subtle notes of his cologne, something expensive and understated. Ex-boyfriend? James whispered. Yes, she admitted. It ended badly. His loss, James said simply. Before Olivia could respond, her phone buzzed with a text from Zoe. Where are you? Marcus is looking for you. I should go, she said, reluctantly moving toward the closet door. My friend will be worried. Wait, James said, reaching for her arm. How about we make a deal? I'll help you avoid your ex if you help me avoid the venture capitalists circling like sharks out there. Olivia hesitated. The rational part of her brain screamed that this was crazy. She was a nobody baker with a failing business and a broken heart, and he was James Harrington, tech wunderkind and one of Boston's most eligible bachelors. But there was something in his eyes, a genuine warmth, a hint of vulnerability beneath the confident exterior, that made her nod. Deal, she said. But how exactly do we do that? James grinned, the light from his phone illuminating his face. I have an idea. 5 minutes later, they emerged from the bedroom together, James's hand resting lightly on the small of Olivia's back as he guided her through the crowd. She was acutely aware of the stares following them, the whispers behind manicured hands. Just act natural, James murmured close to her ear. Like we've known each other for ages. Easier said than done, Olivia thought. Every nerve in her body was on high alert, her skin tingling where his hand touched her. They made their way to the bar, where James ordered 2 glasses of water. I never drink at these things, he explained. Need to keep my wits about me. Smart, Olivia said, accepting the water gratefully. The champagne had left her lightheaded, or maybe that was just the effect of James's proximity. So, he said, leaning against the bar and facing her, effectively blocking her from the rest of the room, tell me about yourself, Olivia the closet hider. Despite her nervousness, she laughed. Not much to tell. I own a small bakery in the South End. Sweet nothings. Recognition flashed in his eyes. On Tremont Street? With the blue awning and the incredible pain au chocolate? Olivia blinked in surprise. You've been there? At least once a week. Usually early, around 6:30. There's a woman who works there, older, gray hair in a bun, who always remembers my order. That's Marge, my assistant baker, Olivia said, still processing the fact that James Harrington had been a regular customer at her shop without her knowledge. I'm usually in the back kitchen at that hour. Ah, that explains why I've never seen you, he said, studying her face with interest. I would have remembered. The compliment, delivered so casually, made her cheeks warm. Before she could respond, a voice cut through their conversation. Olivia? She turned to find Marcus standing there, his expression a mixture of surprise and something else, jealousy? The blonde from earlier hovered uncertainly at his side. "Marcus," Olivia said, proud of how steady her voice sounded. "Hi. I thought that was you," he said, his eyes darting between her and James. "I've been looking for you." "Well, you found me," she said, forcing a smile. Under the bar, she felt James's hand find hers and squeeze gently. "I don't believe we've met," James said smoothly, extending his free hand to Marcus. "James Harrington." Marcus's eyes widened slightly as he shook James's hand. "Marcus Whitman. This is Tiffany." The blonde gave a little wave, looking uncomfortable. "How do you two know each other?" Marcus asked, gesturing between Olivia and James. Before Olivia could fumble for an answer, James spoke. "Olivia's bakery supplies all the pastries for our company meetings. We've been working together for months." He smiled down at her with such genuine warmth that for a moment, even Olivia almost believed it. "In fact, we were just discussing a potential expansion opportunity." Marcus looked taken aback. "Oh. That's great." An awkward silence fell over the group. Olivia could feel Marcus's eyes on her, assessing, questioning. She had spent months imagining what she would say if she saw him again, all the clever, cutting remarks that would show him exactly what he had lost. But now, standing here with James's hand in hers, those rehearsed speeches seemed unnecessary. "Well, we should let you get back to your evening," James said, his tone polite but dismissive. "Olivia and I have some business details to finalize." Without waiting for a response, he guided Olivia away from the bar and toward the balcony doors. As they stepped outside into the cool night air, Olivia let out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. "Thank you," she said, leaning against the railing. "That was, surprisingly painless." "Did you see his face?" James chuckled. He looked like someone had just told him his stock options were worthless. Olivia laughed, feeling lighter than she had in months. The city lights sparkled below them, and a gentle breeze carried the salt scent of the harbor. For the first time since her breakup, she felt something other than sadness or anxiety, a flicker of possibility. "So," James said, turning to face her, "was that true? About your bakery struggling?" Olivia tensed. She hadn't mentioned anything about struggling, but James had clearly picked up on something in her demeanor. "How did you know?" He shrugged. "I recognized the signs. The worry lines." He gently touched the space between her eyebrows. "I had them too, before Harrington Tech took off." She sighed, deciding honesty was the best approach. "Yes, it's been a difficult year. The breakup affected me more than I'd like to admit. I've been distracted. Not as focused on the business as I should be." "What do you need?" he asked simply. "Excuse me?" "To turn things around." "What does Sweet Nothings need?" Olivia stared at him, wondering if this was some kind of joke. But his expression was serious, his eyes intent on hers. "I don't need charity, if that's what you're offering," she said, a hint of pride creeping into her voice. James smiled. "I'm not offering charity. I'm offering a business proposition. Your pastries are the best I've had outside of Paris. Harrington Tech hosts dozens of events each month, plus daily catering for our 300 employees. Currently, we use 5 different vendors, none of whom are as good as you." Olivia's mind raced, calculating what a contract like that could mean for Sweet Nothings. It would be transformative, enough to hire more staff, maybe even open a second location eventually. "Why would you do this?" she asked, suspicious of such sudden good fortune. "You don't even know me." "I know your pain o' chocolate," he said with a grin. "And I know talent when I see it. Besides, I have a feeling about you, Olivia the Closet Hider. Call it investor's intuition." Before she could respond, the balcony door opened, and a group of partygoers spilled out, their loud laughter shattering the intimate moment. James glanced at his watch. It's getting late, and I have an early meeting tomorrow. Can I give you a ride home? Olivia hesitated, then nodded. Let me just text Zoe to let her know I'm leaving. As they made their way through the party toward the exit, Olivia caught Marcus watching them, his expression unreadable. For the first time since their breakup, she felt no pain at the sight of him, only a vague sense of gratitude that his rejection had led her here, to this unexpected moment with James. Outside, a sleek black car waited at the curb. The driver opened the door for them, and James gestured for Olivia to enter first. Where to? He asked as they settled into the plush leather seats. Olivia gave her address in the South End, suddenly self-conscious about her modest apartment compared to what must be James's luxurious lifestyle. As the car pulled away from the curb, a comfortable silence fell between them. The events of the evening felt surreal, like something from a movie rather than her actual life. Tomorrow, she would wake up at 4 a.m. as usual, head to her bakery, and begin the familiar routine of mixing dough and firing ovens. Would this night seem like a dream in the harsh light of morning? I meant what I said about the business proposition, James said, as if reading her thoughts. I'll have my assistant contact you tomorrow to set up a proper meeting. Thank you, Olivia said, genuinely moved by his generosity. But I have to ask, why were you really hiding in that closet tonight? Surely you deal with overeager investors all the time. James was quiet for a moment, his expression thoughtful. The truth, he finally said. Today is the anniversary of my father's death. 5 years ago. These social obligations don't stop, even when you're not in the mood for them. The closet was just a moment of peace. The vulnerability in his admission touched Olivia deeply. I'm sorry about your father. He was a good man, James said softly. Self-made, like I'm trying to be. He taught me the value of recognizing quality when you see it. His eyes met hers in the dim light of the car. In products and in people. The car slowed to a stop in front of Olivia's building, a converted brownstone with window boxes full of geraniums. James walked her to the door, maintaining a respectful distance. Thank you for the rescue tonight, Olivia said, fumbling for her keys. And for the potential business opportunity. Thank you for making hiding in a closet the highlight of my evening, he replied with a smile that transformed his serious face, creating dimples she hadn't noticed before. On impulse, Olivia reached into her purse and pulled out a business card. My direct number, she said, handing it to him. For when your assistant calls about that meeting. James took the card, his fingers brushing against hers. Good night, Olivia the closet hider. Good night, James the closet hider, she replied, a smile spreading across her face. As she watched his car pull away, Olivia felt something she hadn't experienced in months, hope. Whatever tomorrow brought, whether a life-changing business deal or simply a return to her normal routine, tonight had reminded her that life could still surprise her in the most unexpected ways. The next morning arrived with the harsh buzz of Olivia's 4 a.m. alarm. For a moment, as she blinked away sleep, the events of the previous night seemed like a particularly vivid dream. Had she really hidden in a closet with James Harrington? Had he really offered her a